Hey guys, we're going to do a little comparing of flow curves with a small back cut versus a large back cut and a radius on the exhaust valve face and it completely stock. The small back cut beat the valve with no back cut. I don't remember if I did a video on it, but it's not even close. So we're just going to skip it. Just a quick look what we got, because the rest is nothing but paper. Let me see if I can find the valves and I can show you the difference between the big back cut and the small back cut. Actually, I can't because I did both of these tests on the same valve. So this is the valve that I did the original back cut. It was 39 thousandths, and we did these flows. Then we took the same valve and we made it a lot deeper. We made it 82 thousandths, which is where it is now. Let's see if we can get this in focus. You can see it comes close to where the valve sits. There is some 45 above the mark where it was lapped in, which is what you want. You don't want it on top of it. And this is what it looks like without a back cut. Let's see if we can get this in focus for you guys. Sorry. Right, without a back cut. Definitely a different profile. You guys should be able to see that. Okay. Okay, I scribbled out all these pluses and minuses. Those were comparing to the no back cut. Plus, 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 plus. I don't remember if I did a video on it or not. And if I did, I probably erased it, so you're not getting it. But in any case, it's a loser. So we're not going to worry about it. Okay. How did we do with the larger back cut versus the smaller back cut? Equals, minus. I don't really care at this low lift, to be honest. Plus, 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 winner. Then what I did is, just to make sure it's a winner, I did the average. I took all these numbers, averaged them, they come out to 210. Same thing here, average them, 218. Too big a difference for me not to enjoy. Okay, well, let's take a look and see what it did with the swirl. Okay, as far as our swirl, plus, 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 minus, plus, 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 minus, equals. It's got a little more swirl. This curve was fine. I actually liked a little more swirl because with the small block Chrysler we just did, it didn't have a lot of swirl, and then you put the intake on and it really didn't have a lot of swirl. So it might be better off that we gained a little swirl, and then we're going to take these. I think I did both of them with the 337 and the 950 carb, so we'll be able to compare them. Okay, on the top we have the small back cut. We're going to take a look at the intake air speeds versus the intake air speeds. Minus, minus, plus. It was too fast on the floor before. It's still too fast on the floor before, but it flows more, so we're going to take it as a win. Roof went up nicely. Center of the cylinder, and it went up a little bit on the cylinder wall side. We'll take it as a win. Short side, plus, plus, minus. Really pretty banging fast, pretty even. And I always think of what Darren says, you need the low pressure there to pull fuel. I'm not going to sweat the high speed right there. I still think we have more than enough volume and flow for a 540 to go 6,500 RPM. If you, I don't know when this is going to be published, but Eric published Big Block Ford 520 cubes. I think the head flowed around 320. 700 plus horse. Not bad. In fact, he was pretty happy with it. Good stuff. Okay, I did have to go back to a little bit older flow sheet. All right, this is our exhaust with the radius. And this is completely stock. Let's take a look at those two valves. Okay, it's not exactly apples to apples. This is the more accurate one because I did make some CSA changes and so forth, but I didn't take my air speeds, so it's not 100%. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at them and take it as you will. Okay, up top. Yeah, that's 1.8 with a radius on it, and the one on the bottom is without the radius. And we are looking at, sorry guys. Okay, can you tell I was in the sun a lot today? Without the radius on the valve, the speeds actually look better. Plus, 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 minus, plus, 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 plus. Problem is, when you crunch the numbers, okay, this is our 1.8 with a radius. This is after I changed some CSA and so forth. So these are accurate as far as flows. This is on the same port, and this has got no radius. So we've got minus, plus, 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 minus, plus, 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 minus, minus, minus. And at the very bottom should be a minus. So what I wind up doing is really too close to call. So let's average them. 163.9, 173.7. Even though the air speeds aren't quite as good, what I really need to do is when I do a final, completely final everything, I'll get those air speeds and we'll show you guys. A couple of the things. Okay, let me see what else I can figure out. This is the problem. If you do a bunch of work and you're too tired to do videos and you try to make up the next day, you don't remember what you did. Okay, we're going to use this sheet because I obviously didn't reflow it with the intake and the larger back cut because I can't find it. I must not have done it. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare our small back cut with the carb and the 337 after it's all ported versus an older second cut, no back cut through the intake and carb. We're gonna plus and minus this. Okay, guys. So we're comparing these numbers to these numbers. Do not pay attention to these pluses and minuses. Let's look at these pluses and minuses. Minus, minus. Couldn't care less. Plus, 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 plus. Yes, I'll take it as a win. Okay? That was a huge amount of work. No, this says M1 ported. But you know what? I did another day plus worth of work on this manifold. I'm sure of it at this point. Because that is not the difference in just a back cut. I mean, look at some of these gains. 137, 164, 170, 200. That's 30 CFM going through the carb and the intake. Huge gains. Huge gains. We're going 340 through the carb. I don't care who you are. I think that's quite good. Now, because I had it on the bench, I said, you know what? Let's see what this thing's like when we crank it up to 36 inches. At 0.5, 354, 0.6, 369, at 7, 384, at 8, 383. So that's 36 inches. We maxed out at 0.725 lift and 341. Okay, and that was with the small back cut. I expect the large back cut to do at least as well. Okay, quick look at the swirl. Shows after I did some more work to the intake, and we have a back cut on it. We've got... I'm sorry, maybe I've goofed this up. No, this is good. This is a plus. Okay, sorry, I thought I missed a spot. Plus, plus, Don't pay attention to these. Pay only attention to these pluses and minuses. Plus, 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 minus, plus, 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 plus. We've got a really good swirl curve with the carb and intake on. Way better than our small block did. Our small block only started to get a little bit after the short side lost it. So this works out better. And they were both done on like cylinder 8, which is usually a low flowing runner because it's the way it is. So how did we do as far as that? I think we got plenty of swirl, we got plenty of flow. Should be okay. I can't think of anything else. Hold on. I did want to show you this. Okay, no back cut. See how high the margin is? This way it's harder to see because it has a radius on it. Now, it's funny because no matter which way it turned out, it's going to get a bit of a radius on it because this edge is too sharp. We can't have any spots that can start to glow and cause us pre-ignition or detonation problems. That would be a bad day. So even if we lost a couple CFM, I think I'd wind up putting a small radius on it. I think I will try a little bit smaller radius than this and float one more time and see where it goes. That might be a winner. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.